Delighted to welcome back on the show. He's back in action on June 9th at UFC 225 against Rafael dos Anjos for the interim UFC welterweight title. It is the man. What's the new slang, the new slogan, Colby?
Raw American steel and twisted sex appeal.
There you go, guys. It's Mr. Colby Covington. Colby, welcome back on the show. How is all down there in Florida? How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having the reflection of perfection back on the show.
I love these. I love this. Your Instagram as well at the moment. There's some good stuff happening on your Instagram, so I advise all our listeners to hit it up. What is that? You're getting a lot of women and a lot of love from some adult actresses as well.
Yeah, man. I'm getting ready for a 5-round fight, so I got to make sure my cardio's up to tune. So, I'm putting 10 rounds in the gym and another 20 rounds in the bedroom. So 5 rounds is going to be nothing. This is real life. This isn't a gimmick. I got a different girl for each day of the week, my brother.
Definitely. Share the wealth. Hook me up.
Oh, I will, man. Anytime you come to Florida, man, I'll make sure to have a good sex party.
Definitely. Listen, I'm not letting you down on that one. Definitely. All right. All right, dude. Obviously, a big fight coming up for you, June 9th, as we've said. First of all, everything in the gym. I saw you're in a little bit of protective custody, you were saying on a couple of interviews I saw there. Is everything okay in the gym still, or are you still in fear of the Brazilians, the big clan that you said that were after you the last time you were on the show with us?
Well, I was never in fear of them. I don't know where the word fear comes. I've never feared anything in my life, but tensions are high. They're just jealous. At the end of the day, they wish they had what I had, a title fight and making the money that I'm going to be making. So there's no fear about it. It's just I got some virgins' feathers are ruffled, so it is what it is. I got business to do, and it's big business.
Is that hostility true in the gym? Is it that bad for you? Do you have to train at different hours from the rest of the team that are from Brazil, obviously?
Yeah, it's true. I have to go into the private room at American Top Team, kind of do my own training, and I go in at my own time, so I'm away from the guys that don't like me. It is what it is. There's some other guys in there that are Tyron Woodley fans, so they don't like me either with how much, shit I've been talking, or should I say truth I've been talking about him. So, it is what it is. This, at the end of the day, this isn't a team sport. It's an individual sport. You go out there and you fight by yourself. So, I'm representing American Top Team and I claim to them, but, I don't have a lot of friends in there. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Has your place ever been in jeopardy at the gym because of the relationship you have with the rest of the Brazilian community that train in ATT?
Has the what?
Your relationship, or has your tenure in the gym ever been, in trouble? Have there ever been a possibility that you might have to go elsewhere?
No, never a possibility that I'd have to go elsewhere. The owner of the gym, Dan Lambert, he's also my agent and manager. He sat people down and let them know, what we're doing. I'm trying to get big money, and if they have a problem with it, they can take their little pouty crybaby feelings ass to their houses. This isn't the feelings business. This is the fight business.
100%. I want to get your thoughts. Obviously, you've had a long running history with this Fabrizio Verdum. This week, he's obviously been flagged for a potential USADA violation. I know I saw your tweet about it. Obviously, the boomerang incident in Brazil. Your general feeling on what's happened with him?
That boomerang incident was in Australia, but it's funny how that boomerang came back to hit him in the ass pretty hard 2 times. It came around to hit him in the ass in London when he got knocked out unconscious, which, I don't know if Fabrizio Verdum's woke up from that unconsciousness yet when he got knocked out by Volkov. And then it just came back to hit him in the ass for good and probably just ruined his career. He's not getting any younger now. He's like 41 years old. So failing a USADA test for steroids, the boomerang had the last laugh. He's not going to be fighting ever again.
Do you think, we look at, obviously, there's been a few guys recently in the last couple of months that have, popped out. They've tested positive for different things. Again, it's sort of quieting down a little bit. But USADA are obviously doing a very good job, flagging these guys and getting this on. Is there still a massive problem, do you feel, in mixed martial arts with juicing?
Absolutely. There is still a problem. I've heard from other people that are in the inside and that were training in California that they heard that RDA had a little thing for juicing. He was able to take out his blood and spin it and then put back clean blood in his samples. So, I know there's ways to get around it. If you have the right money, you can go get a good scientist and a chemist who can do all that stuff. There's a reason that Lance Armstrong was able to avoid getting popped for as long as he did. There's there's stringent plans where they can take the steroid blood out and put in new blood.
Do you still think some guys, as you mentioned Lance Armstrong, do you still think some guys are ahead of the game, ahead of USADA, ahead of what the facilities these guys have and the drugs they can do and the things they have in place to catch these guys?
Absolutely. At first USADA was just doing piss tests for a while, and piss tests are easy to avoid. You can get a fake dick, you can get fake urine, you can have someone else piss for you. So that was able. Now they're starting to do blood tests, I've noticed, but even the blood test, there's ways around the blood test. You can take out the blood, you can spin the blood so it looks like, so you put it back in and it's clean blood when they draw it out. So, I think that the game is not caught up to the steroid cheaters. There's very good, smart people in the world and chemists that are able to get these fighters to, get clean blood so they can do their steroids and make lots of money.
Do you think it's a mass problem in the UFC?
I think it used to be a mass problem. It's not a mass problem anymore, but it is still a problem. There is guys that are still juicing. There's no doubt about it. They've been juicing since the beginning of times in fighting. That's just what the norm was and what people were doing in the early stages of the UFC. So I still do think it's a big problem, and I hope they can get it figured out.
Definitely. Okay, moving on to, obviously, your opponent. It is for the interim title, June 9th. First of all, do you think the division at the moment, as we saw last weekend, we saw Kamaru Usman and Damian Maia, we've Darren Till and Wonderboy this weekend. Do you think as though maybe the division's sorting itself out a little bit at the moment? A clearer picture of who are going to be the contenders for these titles?
Yeah, absolutely. The division's getting sorted out. I'm fighting for the undisputed title. Everybody knows that. Tyron Woodley's hiding. He's faking injuries. He's talking about the Kardashians on TMZ. His career is over, man. He just wants to sit in that Fox desk, and he just wants to soak it up. Oh, I'm the champion. He's not the champion anymore, man. If he was a champion, he would have defended when the UFC called with my name. He was supposed to fight me in December. He said, no, I'll fight Nate Diaz, a lightweight. Oh, I'll fight GSP, but I'm not fighting Colby Covington. So, my fight against Rafael dos Anjos is for the undisputed title. And, the division is working itself out. Kamaru Usman did claim himself as the number 1 or number 2 gatekeeper. And then Darren Till and Stephen Thompson will clear themselves as the number 1 contender for my belt.
Do you think that's the number 1 contenders fight, Darren Till and Wonderboy? Do you think that is the genuine number 1 contenders fight?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the number 1 contenders fight. Those guys have good resumes. Usman still needs to build his resume. He has 1 ranked win. All his other wins are a bunch of jokes and bums he's been beaten. So, he has no claim to the title right now. He needs to win a couple fights before he starts talking. And Till, he's done impressive work. He's been talking the talk and walking the walk. So if he can get through Stephen Thompson, I do think he'll be next in line after my shot.
Joe Rogan and yourself have had a little bit of beef recently. I've noticed it. And he responded to the fact you said you were going to slap him if he wasn't careful. He sort of questioned maybe your resume, that you've talked your way into this. And I actually have a clip here if you just want to hear it back quickly. We're going to play.
I mean, I'm just going to be honest. That is not really, I'm just going to be honest. This is not a resume of someone who you would normally see fighting for the title right now. Mm-hmm. I think he's fighting for the title based not just on his beating Damian Maia, who's a really tough guy, but I think their character.
Yeah. So what do you make of those comments that Joe's come out? He said you're a controversial, popular character, and he questioned your resume, the guys you've beaten.
The guy's a shill. He's full of shit. All he does, he's talking about how the earth's flat. He's talking about all these stupid shit in the world. Like all this shit he says is propaganda bullshit. No one wants to hear that. So, everybody has a consequences for their actions. And the things he said, he will have to be man up. He will see me face to face in Chicago. So, when I get face to face with him, it's going to be a different story. I bet he's going to be taking back some of those words. And, you just might have to tune into Chicago Wins. I might be slapping that little nerd.
Yeah, no, listen, I think there's a lot of people have eyes on this fight. It's a cracking fight coming up, obviously, on June 9th. I believe a good friend of the show here, Mark Casey, I believe you've been sparring a bit with Mark then in American Top Team. Are you looking to that sort of unorthodox element that Mark brings to prepare you in all assets? Obviously, RDA's performance, in fairness to him, against Robbie Lawler, it was a very complete stand-up performance. Is that why you've brought Mark in? Is Mark a guy you see that's flashy and going to cause different problems from different areas?
Yeah, Mark's very explosive. He's a very quick fighter. He has very good, striking. So I wanted to bring him in and just kind of get that look, see that speed, see that explosiveness, and just see all the different angles that he comes from. Because RDA has a little different. He has different angles that he likes to come from and does different stuff. So, bringing in Diakese has been a big help. He's got really good explosive power, very good solid striking, and he's definitely elevating my game.
Has that maybe been, there was a little bit of criticism, and we spoke about this the last time in the show after the Damian Maia fight, on your side. Has that been the reason the time off? Or I know you were injured a little bit as well. You were sick. You just took a little bit of time off to heal up. But was there an emphasis maybe on, improving the striking?
Yeah, absolutely. I had to go through a little injuries and a little sickness that was serious stuff that I had to attend to first. But, during that time, I was getting better. People like to say I'm one-dimensional. They like to say this. They don't know anything. And you're only as good as your last fight. And in my last fight, I completely dominated striking. I beat the dude worse than Woodley and Usman beat him combined. Put both their significant strikes together, and it still doesn't match my significant strikes on Damian Maia. And I did it in 3 rounds. It took them 5 rounds. So, I was definitely improving my stand-up, and you're going to see the most complete fighter the game's ever seen on June 9th.
You look at RDA and his technical abilities and what he brings to the table, and obviously, since moving back up or moving to welterweight from lightweight, I mentioned the Robbie Lawler fight. Do you see areas where he's going to really cause you trouble, or do you look at that? What's your thought process when you're going into a fight of what you're going to do to a guy?
I don't really see any areas where I'm going to have problems with him. I train with the best trainers in the world, that American Top Team. I've got, great sparring partners, Mark Diakese, Dustin Poirier, who's another main sparring partner of mine right now, Jorge Masvidal. So, I see the elite of the elite every day. There's nothing that RDA is going to present that I haven't seen before. So, I'm expected to be better striker, better jiu-jitsu, better wrestler, just all-around better fighter. I'm going to dunk my nuts on his face, just like Michael Jordan used to dunk in the United Center in Chicago. I'm going to be dunking my balls on RDA's face.
I'm looking forward to the United Center. Right, the Conor RDA rumors. I did actually hear that when I was over in Brooklyn in New York, and I know you were there as well. You had to pop off back to Florida. Didn't get to catch up with you, unfortunately. I heard that fight was very close to being booked while I was in New York off some of the other Irish MMA media guys. Did that piss you off? That was the fact that they were going to elevate RDA into position against Conor McGregor for an interim title?
No, that was complete fake news. Everybody knows that was fake news. So, Conor's just doing a lot of different manipulating to get media and get headlines. That was never even presented or even on the table. So, you have to check your information, because that was definitely wrong.
Is that something that interests you down the line? Because as you said there, we're not sure what Tyron's going to do. Do you feel as though maybe Tyron's after the Georges St-Pierre fight, the Nate Diaz fight? Do you think he's looking elsewhere, like big money fights at the moment?
Yeah, definitely he's looking elsewhere. He wants an easier fight for a bigger payday. Obviously, that's what he's been looking for. And, he's going to find out real soon that he's not the A side. I'm the A side of this whole situation. So no one wants to watch Tyron boringly Woodley fight. He's boring. He doesn't draw. He complains. He race baits. Everybody hates me because they're racist. No, everybody hates you because you back up in the octagon. You don't fight like a real man. So, he's going to find out that no one wants to watch him fight and everybody wants to watch me fight. So, yeah, definitely I got a bone to pick with that coked up little leprechaun, Conor McGregor. Eventually I will cross paths with him. And when I see him in that octagon, I will dunk his head underwater and give him a wedgie and take all that lunch money. So this is Nerd Bash 2018. No one is safe.
Do you think once let's say you beat RDA, do you think it's going to make Tyron want to fight you? Is he sort of playing a game with you, maybe, that he's sort of he hasn't taken the fight? Obviously he's had the shoulder surgery as well, but do you think he's maybe playing a game for you to make you maybe feel as though he has to prove his worth to you as a champion?
I don't know what he's doing. He's doing everything but fight, man. He's trying to grasp onto his last leg. He's 37, 38 years old. He's getting old, man. He doesn't want to fight anymore. He's looking for his way out. He's trying to go to Hollywood. He's trying to stay in the Fox Sports desk, and he knows he can't stay in the Fox Sports desk unless he had that UFC belt. So, I heard he's been going to Hollywood and using that UFC belt as leverage. Oh, I'm the UFC champion. Oh, put me in your next star film. So, you know, that shoulder surgery was a joke, man. I mean, it was elective shoulder surgery. Why did he wait 8 months to get a shoulder surgery when he could have got it right after the Damian Maia fight? But he waited 8 months. So, I think he's a lot of the stuff he says, you can't believe any of the stuff he says. He spreads a lot of lies, a lot of fake news. I mean, why was he able to fight Nate Diaz or GSP, but he couldn't fight me, So, I don't know what Tyron Woodley's doing, but he's going to find out. He's going to have to wait for King Colby to address him after this fight, because I might be on to better things. I might be fighting Conor McGregor. I might have a showdown with Khabib in Russia. GSP, he knows I'm a draw. So, I might be going to Canada and dunk that little syrup-sucking nerd's face underwater.
How for you as a fighter, and I sense it from a lot of the fans, obviously, covering events and being at events and, be someone here in the media in the sport, that there's almost a frustration amongst the fans, the way things have gone. Obviously with Conor, we haven't seen him defend either of his titles. It's been a while since Tyron's fought. What's the feeling for you as a fighter seeing that and the way it's been playing out? Do you think guys, the UFC have obviously stripped Conor those 2 belts, but it took them quite some time to do it. Is there something that needs to be done about that? Being a champion so the fans will get to see these fights and, it's sort of here a little bit all over the place the way the UFC have set up. And there's no direct rules on, how long a guy's allowed hold on to a title for without being stripped.
Yeah, there's something that needs to be done. We're fighters. Fighters fight. We're robbing a lot of the fans of their hard-earned money that they're spending to watch us fight. When I'm champ, I'm going to defend the belt. I'm a fan-friendly guy. As much as everybody hates me and you want to hate on my style, what I'm doing of promoting, but at the end of the day, I'm fan-friendly, man. I'm engaging with the fans. If you hit me up on Instagram, you DM me, I'll always reply back. And I'm always looking for the biggest fights. If there's fights to be made, if Till's next in line, if Thompson's next in line, I'm willing to fight right away. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines and beg the UFC for more money. I'm going to go earn my worth, All these guys, they think they're worth Conor McGregor money. He's an exception for everything. He's kind of separated himself out to his own level of money fight, and he's in his own category. But everybody's trying to act and follow suit like him, and I'm not trying to be anything like him. Everybody says that I'm trying to be a Conor McGregor. I'm a wannabe of Conor McGregor. I'm not anything like him. I'm looking to fight often. I'm not begging for more money. I go out there and fight for whatever the UFC puts in front of me, dude. I don't complain. I don't make excuses. I go and get the job done, and I put on exciting shows for the fans. And I don't just put exciting shows on for my fights. I'm entertaining year round. So if you're following my social media, you're going to be entertained every single day of the week.
Well, what is, you've named a lot of people there you'd love to throw down with in the future. Is this the fight that sort of elevates you to that sort of Conor McGregor fight, that Khabib fight? Is this a career-defining fight?
Absolutely, this is a career-defining fight. We're going to be on the world's biggest stage on pay-per-view in Chicago, which is a huge market. RDA's got a decent pass. He's a former lightweight champion. He just beat Robbie Lawler, who's, the greatest welterweight champion of all time. So, he brings an impressive resume with him. And after I dominate him and destructive him within 3 rounds, everybody's going to know I am the money fight, and everybody's going to be looking for King Colby to come get a fight with.
It's essential you make a statement then with inside 3 rounds in this fight?
Inside 3 rounds, he's not going to make it. He could come in juiced up on steroids. It's not going to make a difference. That first round, I'm going to put a pace on him. Second or third round, I'm going to finish him. He will be knocked out and finished inside 3 rounds.
Colby, just a couple more. Do appreciate the time. You talked about your personality. Do you think maybe people take your personality a little bit too seriously, the things you say and what you do?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody takes it so seriously, man. It's a joke. I could go save a burning child and their whole family from a burning building, and they would have said that, oh, you should have died, or they should have died. There's literally nothing I could do that could make people happy right now. So it is what it is. I've said a lot of truth out there, and we know people like to live everybody true, but it is fuck 'em. Nurging.
Colby, what's coming up on the Instagram feed? What are we looking forward to for the next few weeks? Anything special?
I can't give no spoiler alerts. I am the king of spoilers.
We know that.
But I can't give no spoiler alerts of what's coming up special, but I do got some good stuff playing leading up to my fight. So you don't want to miss it. Follow me at Colby Cov MMA on Instagram and Twitter, and you're going to see some serious entertainment, and you're going to love what your eyes see.
Definitely. It's definitely worth the follow, guys. Some entertaining stuff there. Colby, listen, do appreciate the time, man. I'm looking forward to that fight at UFC 225 against the RDA. Best of luck to you. Do appreciate the time, my friend.
Thanks a lot, Niall. I'll talk to you soon, brother.